Hi! It's been a long time since I've done a video in front of the camera, but yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys a little bit about my procedure of how I record my voice and animate to it. So yeah, uh, I usually record my voice on this cell phone that I'm using to record my ugly mug, but for obvious reasons I can't do that. So I have my old cell phone here, and what I'm going to do is I usually use like every phone's got a voice recording app on it. So yeah, you just use that to record your dialogue. You think of a voice you're going to do and what you're going to say. So yeah, it's like so before you do any animation at all, you've got to get your voice recorded if you're going to be recording to your voice. So think about what I'm going to say. Make sure your throat's clear too. I want to keep some water handy. I really can't be bothered going to get some, so let's wing it. Uh,
Thank you so much for subscribing.
so there's a nice 5 second audio. Let's play it back, see if it sounded any good.
Thank you so much for subscribing.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. And say if I was doing Dracula's voice, I'd be like, hang on.
You think you're better than me?
So yeah.
You think you're better than me?
Yeah. So yeah. Just an insight on how I do that. So next we got to go to the computer and put this voice clip into Krita, and then we animate to it. Let's go. Okay, so now we just plug the phone in, put it somewhere safe, and then just plug it in there. And then you just go to, it should pop up, and you just grab this, and then go to, scroll down a bit, and then, whereabouts is it? Oh, sounds, that's it. And it should be under here. So these are just some other voice recordings I did. The one we're looking for is voice 1. So we go copy that, move it to the desktop here, the big messy desktop, and then you just, it helps if you make a folder, and you just paste it in there, and it's appeared over here. So, after that. Okay, so I did a video that was like an hour and a half long going through the entire procedure, but I just feel like that's way too long and no one's going to want to watch that. So the drawing is already finished, the animation is already finished, and yeah, we're going to skip all the juicy parts and just get right to the goodies. So without further ado, so what we do is we've got our audio track that I just put on my desktop, but sadly Krita doesn't import M4A files, which is by default that's the file that is your voice recordings. So you have to convert it over by using, I just use an online converter, so I go into Google and I type in M4A to WAV, or WAV, or however you say it, and yeah, Zamzar is pretty good, and Cloud Convert. I think Zamzar has a limitation on what, like, how many you can do a day, but yeah, they're pretty good. So you just you click on that and you just upload it, add files, and convert it, and you just download it as a WAV file. So once you've got that, you can then put it, your sound file, into you can put it straight into Krita if you want, or you can put it into Audacity, because Audacity doesn't take M4A files either, so you can only take waves. So after you've done that, you can open it. Just go to where is it? Yeah, voice 1. I think that's it. Yeah, that's the one there. Wave. Okay. So this is the problem here, is that see, there's a massive pause at the start here. We want to get rid of that. So yeah, you got to delete stuff like that. I never ever use Audacity to change the pitch of my voice or anything like that. It's all natural. all I use this for is to just trim it. But you can do all that stuff too if you go to effect. We got to highlight it and stuff. You select all and go to effect and change to whatever you want if you want to. But yeah, that's just sound stuff. I'm not going to worry too much more about that. And once you've saved it as a WAV file in Audacity on your desktop, you can just import it in by clicking this thing. And I want to mute it. Then you just it'll say add audio. But I've already got the audio here, so I saved it as thank you. And so what you do is I start off by drawing the foundation. So you can add the foundation on any, like, there's different frames for the foundation. Oh, Krita is a bit glitchy and it seems to have a few problems still, but it is free, so you can't really complain. So here's a sketch layer here. I'll just unlock it. There we go. See, so at frame 0 it's this, and then frame 33 I've changed the frame to that. And this is just basically getting the foundation for a character. So there's no fancy little faces or hats or anything on them. It's just showing whereabouts, like what poses you want them to do. And I do a cross on the face to show the direction I want it to be facing. So after you've done that, you would add what I like to call the ink layer, which is just black lines now. I always use blue to do the foundation. I don't know why. It's just something I've formed myself. Okay, so we've got the ink layer. So this is the ink layer. I just do the basic line art for the character. So yeah, just overlaying it. I tend to, when I'm drawing over the foundation, I tend to knock the foundation's opacity down a wee bit, so you can just lightly see it and just lightly draw over it. So you can just lightly see it there. But yeah, so after you've done that, you've got the basic line art done. I usually trim the lines with a eraser around the edges here because my tablet's quite old and it doesn't have pressure sensitivity. But yeah, I usually just trim this off so it looks like it's got sort of some sort of pressure sensitivity, which is a nice touch. It gives it more character. Um, so yeah, and then what I do is after I've done that, I turn the sketch layer off, the foundation off. So turn that off. Then what I do is I start coloring it. So put the and I put eyebrows on as a separate layer because when we go across, you'll see these are my eyebrows. So you can animate them separately. It really helps if you just add that on a different layer. This is only a very short basic animation, but it should be enough to kind of show the gist of what I do. So that's the eyebrows I animated, and then I've got the actual eyes themselves. So if we go down to eyes here, unlock it to show you the frames. So there, just add blinking, and when I notice when you add blinking, it really does add more life to it. I had no idea it was sort of gonna do that. When I was doing Dracula, I was like, oh, it looks too wooden and weird because he was just staring at me the whole time. Like there was no blinking, and I was like, oh, I'll just add blinking in. And I tell you, it really just gave it that much more character. It was just it gave him a life of his own. So, and when you can make characters look more smug if they've got their eyes shut while they're talking, or just all this kinds of different stuff. So yeah, that's the eyes. And then once you've done that stuff, you do the mouth, which is, you can either start with the mouth or finish with the mouth if you really want to. Um, I I prefer to do the mouth last because that is usually the trickiest part because you are going to be. I got a lot of tips from Trey Parker and Matt Stone that were I saw on a video once, the creators of South Park. I saw like a documentary, and they were saying how not a documentary, but just some sort of video anyway, where it was behind the scenes, and they said what they do is they mouth to A, E, I, O, and U. So um, and I've used that tip and it's helped so much. So yeah, like the shape of your mouth when you say A, E, I, O, U. So yeah, and once you've done that, you can't go wrong. So there are extra ones to use, like with F, especially if you're going to have your character swearing. This mouth here isn't included in the one that A, E, I, O, U. So yeah, just another one to bear in mind. So I love the O mouths. They're my favorite to draw. I love them. So yeah, and then after that, I color it. I color the whole thing, so it's just shove some color in there. Uh, where's the other ones? There. Color that. Oh, that's a sketch layer again. So yeah, that is that. And coloring takes probably the longest, along with the mouth animation. That takes ages. So yeah, that is how I do it. They're all on different layers. So and so you've got your basic uh this thing. This is just, yeah, it's on its own layer here. Um, take the mouth off for a sec. So yeah, that's what I start with. I add eyebrows, and also I had eyebrows on. So I start with that, add eyebrows on a mouth, and then yeah, just like that. And then I add eyes, animate that separately, and then yeah, just add the colors. So that's just a little insight on how I do it. I do actually have a sped up clip of me coloring it in, so I can show you that. I'll run that now. Okay, so here is the most time consuming part, sped up for my own satisfaction. One thing you can do is copy and paste frames if you really want to sort of just slightly adjust body parts or whatever that you want to move. But the only thing I find with this is it kind of makes the animation look quite wooden, so depending on the style you're going for. Personally, I think the animation should be all wacky and wobbly and cool looking, so it doesn't really suit me that much. I think that's what separates sort of modern day cartoons from the classics. So, alright, let's see what it looks like finished.
Thank you so much for subscribing.